Hey everybody, check out the hardware-free tarp tie-out system. So I got my tarp tied out here. I have it in full open porch mode. I have the other side flipped around. And I'm going to show you how this works. So here is the other side of my tarp. And I wanted to connect it to this corner. And I can easily do that by taking the button knot and putting it between the two strands of my tensioning system. So now I'm at full open porch mode. I don't need any hardware or clips or carabiners to do it. And anytime I need to disconnect this, I can push that knot through and it will be disconnected. And in the meantime, this knot will stay in there nice and tight. Wind and other stresses won't take it out, especially when I have this fully tensioned. Right now it is not fully tensioned. And to set this up on the tarp, I have a tensioning line with a loop right here that is Prusik to the main tensioning line. And then I have the mini Evo loop that's on the corner of the tarp. And the mini Evo loop allows a quick and easy connection to my tensioning line. I just take the loop that is Prusik to the tensioning line and go through the mini Evo loop and then bring it back over the button knot. And so now it has a nice secure connection, and the whole line remains connected even if I don't tension it, so I can let go of it and not lose my tensioning device. And then to tighten it, I'm just pulling it through that Prusik that kind of has a nice snug grip too. And I'm finishing it off with a slippery Beckett hitch. Now one thing about this, the slippery Beckett hitch is already mostly tied. The first part right here of it has been created. So all you're really doing is a slippery half hitch onto this part of the line. And what's cool about this, you can actually do it with one hand. You can grab the loop right here and then put a loop through that loop and pull it, and now you're completely tied off. This is the same as a Beckett hitch or a slippery sheets bend. It will lock these two lines and not slide. Now this setup is partially inspired by this little guy and other such tie-out devices. One of the problems with this little guy, you can have it connected like this. You snap it onto a piece of shot cord or something, and then you have to pull it, and you do a little twist in here and push the twist over the tip, and now it's locked into position. The only problem with that, when you untie this, it's just going to slide. Everything's going to fall down. And so then you have to relocate your main tension, or if you're unclipped from your little piece of shot cord or whatever, that piece falls down and you have to relocate it. So it can cause some little inconveniences. It's like it solves a couple of problems, but then it also creates some other ones. So by having this blue line Prusik to the yellow line, even if you do untie this to make some kind of adjustments, unless you got a really taut tarp or lots of wind, this will still hold its adjustment slightly and allow you to complete what you need to do without everything falling to the ground. And now if you do want everything to fall to the ground, you can just quickly come up here, push the button knot through its main loop, and then right here everything will just come apart quickly, and you can have your tensioning line separate from your tarp. But otherwise everything will stay right here and be easily manageable, and you won't have to bend over or scoot around and figure out where this little guy slid to. And it's easy to, like, oh, just tie the overhand knot down here. So just remember, you're tying the overhand knot up here. Slippery. It's this exact same thing as a slippery overhand knot, but combined with the fact that it's been passed through the Prusik already, it's the same as a Beckett hitch. For the stake section of this setup, I just have a lark's head around the tie out, or around the stake. I like doing the lark's head because it has a little bit of slide, and then when it's into the ground, you can slide the tie out towards the ground, and if the tie out is slidden down here, it has less leverage. If I have the tie out attached up here to this main piece, if it's not all the way in the ground, say the ground level's right here, it has a lot more leverage against the stake. So for example, here's the stake, and if I was tied out up to by the top, this would have a lot of leverage. And since the prusik, or since the little lark's head is on there, I can push it down to the bottom, and here it has a lot less leverage against the stake. So that's the complete hardware-free corner tie-out setup. It consists of a button knot loop that is on the tarp, another loop that is lark's headed to the main tie-out line, and that's it. It's just 3 components: the button head loop, the lark's headed loop, and the main tie-out line. Thanks, everybody.